All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got another episode of Terrible Teaching by your terrible teacher. Yeah, that's me. Okay? We're going to add mixed numbers in this video, and your objective for this video is, as a student, you should be able to accurately add mixed numbers with unlike denominators. Okay? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this one's tricky. It's a little difficult. You're going to have to really focus on this video and take your time. You do need graphic organizer number 1, side 2. We have already been working on graphic organizer number 1. We did side 1 yesterday or in your last episode. Now, okay, you just need to make sure you're on side 2 where it says adding mixed numbers with unlike denominators. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here are your 4 steps. You might want to pause this video and write these 4 down. Your steps are: find the least common denominator of the fractions, rename the fractions using the least common denominator, and keep the whole number. Number 3, add the whole numbers. Add the numerators, denominator remains. Now that's a little tricky, so if you think about that, we're going to add the whole numbers, we're going to add our numerators, but we're going to keep our denominator, okay? And then 4, we're going to simplify or convert to mixed numbers. I'm going to show you all of these to make them make sense to you. So let's get started. We have 1 and 3/8, and we're going to add 4 and 5/6. So if you saw the last video, you know I like to make my fractions straight up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to write 1 and 3/8. And I'm going to add 4 and 5/6. Now, the first thing I need to do is find a least common denominator. I'm going to do that by taking my 8 and 6 and listing them out until I find a common multiple. 8, 16, 20. I think 24 works, so I'm going to keep that one there. 6, 12, 18, 24. Yes, it is 24, so I am going to use the answer of 24. Now, what I do is I keep my whole number. It just drags right over. So 1. And my new denominator is 24. I'm going to do that for both of them. I'm going to keep my 4. My new denominator is 24. Now, the next thing is, how does my 8 become 24? Well, I multiplied it by 3. Remember, the rule is, if you do it to the denominator, you must also do it to the numerator. So 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, how does 6 become 24? You multiply by 4. You must do it to the numerator as well. 5 times 4 is 20, and there you go. Okay, now we have 2 mixed numbers with the same denominator. So what do? Well, we're going to add those together. Okay, we're going to add our fractions first. 9 24ths plus 20 24ths gives us 29, and we keep our denominator of 24. And we're also going to add our 2 whole numbers, which is 1 and 4, which is 5. Now, we do have a problem. I want you to think about this and look at it very closely. Okay, 29/24 is improper, so we need to fix it. Okay, so in order to fix that, you have to put that in a division problem. Okay, so we're going to convert it. Okay, 29 and 24. 24 goes into 29 one time. 1 times 24 is 24. We subtract and we get 5. So you have 1 and 5/24. However, that is not your answer, because you need to remember about this 5 down here. That's a whole number, and so is this 1. You need to add those 2 together. That gives us a 6 and 5/24. And ladies and gentlemen, that right there is your answer. 6 and 5/24. Okay, we have 3 more examples to go. Let's get started. Okay, example number 2. We have 1, ooh, that's tricky, plus 4.5. So we're going to go ahead and put that over there. 1 is our whole number, plus 4.5. Now, okay, we need a common denominator, but 1 doesn't have a denominator. Now, some people say, well, I could just put 1 over 1. Well, I'm actually going to show you a different way to do this. Okay, there is no fraction there. So why don't we just say we want it to be over 2 so we can have a common denominator. And how many do we have? Well, we had 0, so let's use a 0. Okay? That's how it is. Now we just need to simply add, because we have common denominators. 0 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is 1 over 2, and 4 plus 1 is 5. And ladies and gentlemen, that happens to be your answer because it is simplified. Okay? There you go. That wasn't that hard. Example number 3. What do we do here? Well, we have 2 and 5/6, and we have 4 and 1/3. Okay, so we need to find a common denominator. I'm going to be honest with you. If you do 3 and 6, you're going to get 6 as your common denominator. So let's just use 6. Okay, so that's going to be, remember, we keep our whole number, which is 2, and it's going to stay over 6. Since it's staying over 6, we didn't change it. We need to make sure we have our 5 over there. This one we did change. It's going to be 4 and something over 6. How does 3 become 6? Well, you multiply by 2. Do the same thing to the top. 1 times 2 is 2. Now we add. Okay, 2 and 5, 6, plus 4 and 2, 6 will give us 7 over 6, and 4 plus 2 is 6. Unfortunately, 7/6 is improper again, so we need to go ahead and change it to a mixed number. 7 in the box, 6 on the outside, goes in 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. We subtract, we get 1 left over. That means 1 and 1/6. But don't forget, we have that big 6 down there at the bottom. We need to add those two whole numbers. That means we have 7 and 1/6, and that is our answer. We have one more example. Okay, example number 4. Okay, we have 9.5 plus 3 and 7/10. Same thing. 9.5, 3 and 7/10. We need to have a common denominator. Pretty sure it's 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10 works. So let's keep that one over there. Okay, that's going to stay 9 and something over 10. How does 2 become 10? Multiply by 5. Remember the rule is if you do it to the denominator, you must also do it to the numerator. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? This one down here did not change. It's still over 10. So because we did not change it, we're just going to copy what we had. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to simply add. 5 plus 7 is 12 over 10. 9 plus 3 is 12. We have 12 and 12/10. Unfortunately, there is still a lot of work left to do in this one. 12 over 10. Oh, it's improper, so let's fix that first. Do that by putting it inside the box. 10 goes into 12 one time. 1 times 10 is 10. We subtract, we get 2 left over. That would be 1 and 2/10. But remember, we can't forget about our whole number, which is 12. We need to add that to the 1, which means we have 13 and 2/10. Unfortunately, this one is still not done. There's a lot of stuff to do in here. 2 over 10 is not simplified. So put that in the birthday cake. What goes into 2 and 10? Well, it's 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Now that's simplified. Keep your whole number. Use your simplified fraction. Your answer should be 13 and 1/5. Okay? I know that one was long. That one's challenging, but we have a lot in there. Okay? If you still do not understand after we've done these 4 examples, you need to come see me. I will sit down and I will help you, especially in your independent practice. However, it is that time. I would like you to take this time to pause the video and do these 2 completely on your own. Make sure you are doing them and not just waiting for me to show you how. Okay, we want to make sure that you can get them correct. In this particular case, I would like you to put a check mark next to each step if you did it correctly. And if you did not do a step correctly, I'd like you to circle it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and line them up. 4 and an 1/8 plus 2 and a 5th. The common denominator you should have gotten was 40. So it's going to be 4 and something over 40 plus 2 and something over 40. How does 8 become 40? Multiply by 5. So 1 times 5 should have been 5. 5 becomes 40 by multiplying by 8. 1 times 8 is 8. We're going to go ahead and add because we have everything done. 5 plus 8 is 13 over 40. And 4 plus 2 is 6. Now, thankfully, 13 is a prime number, and it does not go into 40 evenly. So our answer is actually done. You should have gotten 6 and 13/40. Okay, next one that we've got here, 2 and 5/8. So go ahead and line them up. Okay, plus 2/3. Now this was another tricky one. Okay, we don't have a whole number. You could put a 0 there if you'd like, if it makes it easy for you. We do still just need to find a common denominator. Hopefully you found that it is 24. We're going to go ahead and rewrite our fraction using 24. Okay, both of them down at the bottom. We're going to say 0 and something over 24. How does 8 become 24? Well, you multiply it by 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. How does 3 become 24? You multiply it by 8. So 2 times 8 is 16. If you got both those things right, you should put a check mark next to them. All right, let's go ahead and add. 15 plus 16 is 31 over 24. 2 plus 0 is 2. Unfortunately, 31 over 24 is not simplified, or sorry, it is improper. Right, so we need to fix that. So let's go ahead and put 31 in our box. Ooh, that's tiny. Let's not do that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. 31, and we're going to put 24 on the outside. 24 goes into 31 one time. 1 times 24 is 24. Subtract, we get 7. 1 and 7 over 24th, but I'm forgetting something. Hopefully you know what it is. Hopefully you know that I'm forgetting that 2 over there, that 2, that 2, that 2. We need to add that to the 1. That gives us an answer of 3 and 7 over 24. Got it? 3 and 7 over 24. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your 2 independent practices. If you still do not understand and you need help, if you missed them, you need to come see me. I would be glad to help you. It is now time for your exit ticket. You have 1 1/2 plus 2 3/5 and 2 3/4 plus 1 1/2. At the end of this video, I hope that you are able to accurately add mixed numbers and unlike denominators. Your teacher is out.